Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dorky Dunkleosteus. Today we are going to be talking about the dragons of China, or also known as the weird dinosaur flight development. I really did want to do an episode this week on the Spinosaurus discoveries, but the papers were locked behind a paywall, and I do not have the kind of disposable income to pay $8 for 48 hours when I can't take pictures, I can't print it out, I can't read it thoroughly in that time frame. So I'm hoping to do that next week once I have a little bit more time to dig into some of the additional information on Spinosaurus. So next week will be a Spinosaurus episode on its aquatic lifestyle. Alright, so let's do the dragons of China. So this, a lot of people think that these are the only ways that life has developed flight. We have a bat wing, we have a bird wing, pterosaurs or tyrannosaurs, pterodactyls and the like, and of course insect wings. These are the most common ways that flight have developed in the past, well, I'd say since the Triassic. Or actually, since the Jurassic, rather. And of course, 3 of these we still have around today, but there is another way that animals and life on Earth have developed flight. There is one more, and the legends were true. There are, in fact, dragons. This is a reconstruction of Ambopteryx, sorry. And this is about as close as any mythology-loving person will ever get to see as a dragon in all of its glory in the fossil records. So this is Ambopteryx longibrachium. So that actually translates to both wing long brachium or long arm. So it was discovered in China in 2017 near Linguang. It's in the northern area of China. It is the second member of scansoriopterygid type of dinosaurs. And yes, I have started to put in those pronunciation guides because that's how bad I am. So this is the second member. The first member was AEGYPTICus. I apologize if I'm butchering that. I'm learning Japanese, not Chinese. And we have both the fossil, we have a couple of in-depth pictures on some of the details that they did in scans, and a mock-up of how the majority of the fossil is. We're missing a pretty big chunk of the head, but it's really quite amazing. So what is a scansoriopterygid? It is a branch of the dinosaur family with wings that have similar to bats. They're believed to be gliders as opposed to propelled flight, but that could change as we find more of them. The wing membrane is actually supported by a calcified tendon jutting out from the wrist, which is very, very clear in both of the fossils that were discovered. Ambopteryx means both wings in Latin. Longibrachium, like I said, means long arm. This is really kind of cool because up until now, we thought that only the Para-Avian dinosaurs with feathers have actually developed flight. But with the discovery of both of these fossils, we now know that there were multiple ways that dinosaurs tried to develop and fill in the niche left by pterosaurs and other insect-like animals and slightly larger and some other birds. Because birds were around during the Cretaceous, what we consider modern birds. They were around during the late Cretaceous. They had started to develop, and they were poised to take in the full niches that were left over after the KT extinction. The fossil itself is beautifully preserved. Ambopteryx is actually the best preserved of the 2 specimens. And what's really cool is when the first specimen, AEGYPTICus, was discovered, it actually was considered to be just an anomaly. A one-off in the species that didn't survive, that didn't propel itself into any more genuses or species. But with the discovery of a whole new genus and a whole new species, we now know that this was actually, we can assume, a fairly robust way of developing potential flight. Um, it is kind of interesting to see if we find any more of these or new species in this northern area of China where they're finding these dinosaurs, because that will give us a better idea of how many did they develop. With better specimens, we'll be able to see, okay, how much strength did they have in their shoulders and their breastbones? Did they have a developed enough keel, which is the breastbone? Just hit my mic. And the like. That is kind of the goal, but right now we have a gorgeous, gorgeous specimen. Both specimens do show that there is feathery down all over the body, so we can consider them to both have feathers and leathery membranes of wings. So they would have been used in tandem. We have a small gizzard stone that was seen in the stomach. We can actually see it somewhat on the fossil there. And as we saw in the larger image from the Smithsonian Magazine, we actually do see it has a very short tail as compared to the other Para-Avian and Microraptors and other Raptorians, which had longer tails that were feathered and used as rudders. This is a very small tail, and it has these distinct stiff feathers. I'm not sure if they discovered that they were feathers or something akin to them, but they believe they were actually very long and almost pencil-like from the illustrations that I've seen and from some of the readings that I've done. Absolutely really cool. So they probably wouldn't have been used so much for rudder, at least that we think right now. This is all subject to change. So what does this mean? Well, there were several, like I said, there were several different branches of Dinosauria exploring flight mechanics, and we have here, this is AEGYPTICUS. This is the fossil of AEGYPTICUS. As you can see, this also, you can see it has that feathery look. And you can actually see on both, it's a little clearer on the other one because I've studied Ambopteryx a little bit better, at least looking at the image. But you can see that from the wrist, where the 3 fingers, these guys had 3 fingers, so it had the middle finger, the pointer finger, and the thumb. And from that wrist, you would see a stiffened tendon. It's not fully calcified, but it is a stiffened tendon, more akin to pteranodons and pterosaurs that had these wing membrane support structures in their wings, providing support. And we know that they could fully fly, so it is possible that they may have a support structure, or possibly some other type of structure that would propel them to fly. Right now we're considering them like flying squirrels, but that makes sense to me. And you can see how short-bodied these animals were. They didn't have the long tails. Their sacrums and into what would be the tailbone, the coccyx on humans, that they were pretty short. They actually look more like chicken tails. So that's kind of cool. It's really exciting. Dragons do exist, and the truth is in the fossils. These are both beautiful reconstructions. On the left is the Ambopteryx, and on the right is AEGYPTICUS. Both, you can see very clearly, have that strange membrane and feather combination. They were bug eaters, but we know that they were also, from looking at the gizzard stone that is found in Ambopteryx, they would eat lizards, seeds, anything, as well as they would have gizzard stones to help grind down that food process. Really quite cool animals. I'm hoping they find more. I'm hoping we find some more in the next few years. These are, Ambopteryx was finally announced to the world in 2019, early 2019. And again, I'm pulling this out from a little bit of the archives, quote unquote, because I really want to do some work on the Spinosaurus episode, because that's really cool. But these guys are so cool. We're talking about dinosaur evolutionary tactics. This wing development is something else entirely. The the development of these wings, we're only discovering more and how diverse dinosaurs were able to fill. So who knows? Maybe Jack Horner and some of the other paleontologists working on his project for Dino Chicken, maybe they'll get us these guys. They were very small. I think they were both only around 16 to 18 inches. Um, Really though, that would be so cool having a little dragon. Um, Although technically speaking, from a mythology standpoint, they're more looking like wyverns. Um, we're probably never going to find something that has 6 limbs in the way of dragons. But these guys, I'll accept these guys as dragons, very much so. They're very, very, very cool. Um, Sources, here are all the sources. National Geographic, Paleoblog. A lot of the pictures I took are in that middle part in the end. And of course, the Smithsonian Magazine had a great article on them. Hopefully, we'll discover more. I'm really excited. China has been having some great discoveries lately um, in these early Jurassic Age dinosaurs. So these are from the Jurassic. They're in that middle zone where things got weird. Jurassic is where you get the stegosaurs, the pachycephalosaurs, some of the larger sauropodomorphs. Um, and then of course you have these little strange winged birds. Um, they're birds. They're bat birds. So it's really cool. Hopefully we discover more. Hopefully we can discover a little bit about what their environment was. From what I understand, they were also in a tree, high tree, large tree forest. So they would fill that niche in for flying squirrels, gliding squirrels, that kind of stuff. Jumping from tree to tree, maybe even getting, some long distance. It would be cool though if we could actually really figure out how well they flew. So next week we are going to do the Spinosaurus episode. We're going to talk about Spinosaurus aegypticus. We are going to talk about the biomechanics that were discovered with that discovery of a nearly complete Spinosaurus aegypticus tail. And we're going to talk a little bit about where that puts Spinosaurus in its evolution. Just looking at that individual dinosaur from stem to stern, from its initial discovery to its latest discovery, we're really excited to see its evolution. It's an interesting animal. Can't wait to get into that discussion, but that's for next week. If you like the videos, please, please, please leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, please. It makes me know that I am doing something cool for the world, and that people are enjoying this weekly and fun kind of adventure into paleontology, and all of the insanity. And it's something to keep everybody distracted and up to date on what's going on in the world for education in geology, paleontology, and all that, because right now the world is on lockdown, and that kind of sucks. But, hey, if I can do my part to help brighten anyone's day, that's awesome. Alrighty, everybody. So, I will see you next week. If you have any questions, leave them right down there in the comments below. Everyone stay safe, stay smart, and remember to keep on digging. Bye-bye!